Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Out show. Next week, here on the program, I'll have Alter Bridge tickets for you. That's just Creed without Scott Stapp, Mark Tremonti, and the other dudes. The Pawns and Kings tour sees Alter Bridge going out with Seven Dust, who are always dynamite, and Mammoth WVH, Wolfie Van Halen. That is August 8th out of Jacobs Pavilion. I'll have Parkway Drive tickets for you. That's September at Nautica. Mars Volta is going to do the Agora in September. And Mushroom Head back at the Agora for their 30th anniversary and Halloween show. I thought last year was the 30th anniversary and Halloween show.
They do a Halloween show every year.
But I thought last year was the 30th.
That was my mom's birthday. Maybe that's
her 30th birthday?
It was her 30th birthday. I'm 33, but my mom just turned 30.
That's crazy.
Gross.
Crazy.
All right, well. Anyway, all next week. And then one show I can't tell you about yet, but I'll have tickets for you for that show next week. A comedian who's going on tour. I can't tell you.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
Is it Nate Bargatze?
No.
Oh, speaking of him.
Wouldn't he have told you?
I was in Tennessee with him. Dude, I was trying so hard not to fangirl. I was trying so hard.
Does he live in Nashville?
Yes.
Is he from Nashville?
He's from a small town in Tennessee,
Yeah.
but not Nashville. But he set the attendance record at Bridgestone Arena a couple weeks ago.
Where is that?
In Nashville.
Oh, okay.
That's their arena. He sold like over 22,000 tickets.
That's the record?
Yeah. Well, they don't have like a professional sports team or anything there.
But like the Rolling Stones haven't played or?
I think that it's too small.
Well, the
For
Rolling Stones probably
big
play
places
at
like that.
the stadium.
Right.
If they go there.
I see.
The arena.
It's like the Romo
really
Fijo?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he do the Romo Fijo when he came here?
No, he does Playhouse Square when he comes here.
Oh, I thought he did the arena.
He might
good
this
for
time.
him.
He might
Who
this
knows?
time. Yeah, he's having a pretty good glow up. That Nate Bargatze.
Having his moment.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, good for him.
he teamed up with Zany's Nashville, and they're doing this thing called the. So his production company is called Nateland. It's the name of his podcast and stuff, and they're doing showcase sets that they're essentially releasing on YouTube, kind of like late night sets. They were 8-ish minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, and it was called, Nateland Presents the Showcase, and they recorded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 20 comics over the 3 days, and then they're all going to come out later this summer, which I'm like super, super pumped about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was nervous because Nate is really clean, and they gave us guidelines of what we could and couldn't say, and
His material, he's not overly hygienic.
Well, he smelled nice, Cody.
He looks like he
good.
smells nice.
But they gave us guidelines, and I was talking to the manager of Zany's, and I was like, listen, you know me, I'm not dirty. I don't talk about sex. I cuss, but I was like, I'm pretty dark. And she's like, you can be dark and clean. And of all the sets that I watched, I was the only one who was not like, aren't kids weird? I like sandwiches. I was up there.
I like sandwiches.
Sandwiches. Kids are weird. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so
Who's
serious.
that comedian? I don't want to talk about you. Who's this amazing comic doing Kids Are Weird? I like sandwiches.
But it was all very lighthearted. They were like church clean. Imagine there's kids in the audience. And I was like, well, my stuff, there's nothing dirty about it. It's just a little bit dark. That's all. So I did jokes about
I have really clean dead material.
kind of, yeah. I talked about Brian's grandma dying and how it was our first big fight because I was happy about it because she left him money and he was mad at me that I was in things like that. And then I talked about how my dad was an addict and I talked about gambling addiction. But the thing is, the crowd was caught off guard, but then
They're probably down for it, though.
Yeah, once I started to kind of get on a roll with them, they really loosened up because I was nervous. I kind of dipped my toe with the first couple jokes, and I was like, let's see how this goes because nobody has done anything even remotely somewhat kind of dark or controversial. And I got off stage, and I was really nervous because I had to walk back into the green room where Nate was directing. It was a 7-camera shoot. So they had all the screens in the back and everything. I walked back there. And I was kind of looking and he was like, hey, that was really great. I love the direction that you went in it. And the manager, Lucy, she was like, that was so you. I'm glad you didn't change who you were just because it was clean. So they were both very complimentary. But I was really nervous. because I'm like, man, this is either going to be great or they're going to tell me that mine's not going to get released. Like, that's how it's going to go.
We'll give you the footage, but
Right.
we can't put it on history.
Right,
Take
right.
this with you. You will be the only person who ever sees this.
Do you know
so
when
enjoy.
it's coming out? Like
They said June or July.
Oh,
they
cool.
said the
So soon.
they said the turnaround time is not going to be long. But yeah, I was really happy with how it was one of those moments on Tuesday where it was like, Nate is my third favorite comic next to Bill Squire and myself. That's well tread ground here. But to like work with someone that I've looked up to for a long time.
Tell you what, Mary, I got some old videos of you. I will release those on
Please
my
don't.
channel.
Please don't. I would appreciate it if those never saw the light of day. Me throwing my chicken cutlet bra at you across the room in a
I'm
full-blown
talking
blackout.
some stand-up stuff from
okay.
2018 or so.
No,
Yeah,
that's
not
okay.
candid video.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
professional video. That's where the Nashville Predators play.
Oh, okay.
That's their NHL team, yeah.
So yeah, but it was just one of those moments where like I travel so much and I do terrible gigs, and there's moments where I'm like, why am I even doing this? I'm wasting my
United
money.
Workers.
I could yell at United Workers, but
That's very cool, though. That would
No,
be very
Tuesday
exciting.
it felt like one of those like step in the right direction where it was like, okay, at least this is going right. Like I'm recognized at least a
Mary,
little bit.
everything's going right for you.
I
You're
know.
killing it.
I
You're
was
doing
just-
so good.
It was just a very cool moment. It was like to stand there with a guy that I respect so much, and for him to be
Did
like,
you really know him or no?
we worked together at Hilarities in 2018.
Okay.
But it was a one-nighter, and
Yeah.
both of us were hammered. We were both drinking at that time. There was some fight, some
Is
UFC
he not anymore?
fight. No, he quit drinking a month before I did. So we
Is
both.
he's a married guy?
He's a married guy.
He's
Yeah.
been married for a while, too.
I think he married like his high school
Yeah,
sweetheart. Yeah.
he talks about it in his special a lot.
But
He is from Tennessee.
yes, he and I was trying so hard not to be weird because he was giving me that look like I kind of recognized you.
Why would you be weird? Why were you worried that you'd be weird?
Because I like him so much. Because I look up to him as a comic, and I
Yeah.
think he's
You're
so
not weird
funny.
about me, and I'm your favorite comic, so
You're
what
my
the hell?
favorite comic because I know you so well.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference.
Nice dodge.
Well, I gotta put some boundaries between us so that you
Probably.
get weird again. You'd be like, oh my God,
But, like-
Bill's just right over there.
He's just a few feet away from me every day.
Comedic genius just sitting there being funny. But we did work together, but he was giving me that look like he recognized me, but I didn't know if maybe it was just from the tape I submitted. And I didn't want to be the guy who's like, hey, remember when I worked with you one time 5 years ago? And then like word vomit, I couldn't even stop myself from saying that.
Did you? Oh, so you didn't play it like you hadn't met before? Did you? You didn't
No, I
introduce
said it.
yourself to him?
I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but we worked together at Hilarities in like 2018. And he was like, oh, yeah. And he's like the nicest dude ever.
Well, but
Here's,
also-
here's how you do that, though.
Also, nobody's going to go, I don't remember that. Even
Right.
if they don't remember, they're going to go, yeah, of course. Good to see you again.
You go,
Marley?
you go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been so long. We look at where you're at now compared to where you were when we worked together at Hilarities.
Oh, that's like complimentary.
Yeah,
Like,
so you're
killing
saying
it
like
now.
you're killing it, but you still give them the like. But you do kind of
Here's
know
the out.
me.
Yeah.
Like giving them enough footnotes to let them know like how they.
to like
Can't
piece it
remember.
together.
Yeah.
Well, you wait till the green room is full, and then you scream at him, you've still never even met our child.
It's unreal. We named it after that UFC fighter, Little Miss Stipe.
Little
Steve.
Stipe. I got money for you, courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. It's $1,000. Listen closely, and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Money. That's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Hey, Gaylord.
Well, hello to all my friends there in the studio. I love you guys.
Oh,
I
boy.
love the show. I just wanted to give kind of a public service announcement. I had a medical procedure, actually 2 of them done Wednesday. I missed your show, but if I can say to all people that listen to the show that are over 50 years old, they should get, number 1, the colonoscopies, and they also checked out my stomach with the camera. I asked the doctor specifically not to use the same camera that went up, that it should not go down into my stomach. And this is a serious public service announcement. It's something that needs to be done, I think, every 3 years. So keep in mind when you get to be that age. And
I had mine. I had
note-
my first one a couple of summers ago, Gaylord.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yep. August of 21.
The prep is really fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, it's great.
But let's change that note. Mr. Cox, I wanted to ask you, sir, what is your drum kit that you use?
Well, I would currently play a Pearl kit. I grew up playing Tama drums, but I currently play a Pearl kit.
Oh, well, in 74, I purchased a set of Ludwig Vistalite, what they call jelly bean set.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of the drums are a different color. And to this very day, I still use that kit. I consider it invaluable, or valuable to me in my heart.
Did you have a hard time sitting and playing after the colonoscopy, Gaylord?
Oh, Lord.
I'm losing you, Gaylord. I'm sorry. Thank you for the call. You're cutting out, but there's Gaylord who is checking in from Wellington, and he had his tutor rooted, and the whole bit is fine. So good for him.
Every time he calls, I feel like that's what Brian's going to be like when he gets old.
That he's going to call random radio shows and tell them about his colonoscopy?
Yeah, he's just going to like have stories, and like when he eventually retires and I'm still working, I'm going to come home and it's going to be a lot of that.
Well, that might be in the next couple of years. I mean, Gaylord's a bit of an older man. Brian might be doing that by the time he's 40.
I do. That's what I think, though. Because when I come home from a weekend on the road and he's been with the kid for 3 straight days, when I get home Sunday night, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and he tells me stories like that. I'll be like, I was at the grocery store, and did you know that the Giant Eagle, they get their produce delivered Sunday nights? And I'm like, I can't listen to that. What are you talking
Yeah, because a guy had a seizure in front of me when I was halfway through my set. Listen, you live in 2 separate lives, and that's, or at least 2 very different kinds of lives.
Or he'll say something, and I'm like, you haven't talked to an adult all weekend, have you? He's like, no. It's just been me and the kid for 3 straight days.
Yeah. Well, it keeps your brain mossy, to go back and forth like that. You could do some mental whiplash there. That's okay. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where you do it. If you're from out of state, I'd like to find out where people are. Marty listens in Palm City, Florida. Derek is a new listener in Houston, Mississippi. Kim's in Nashville. You can leave messages there, too.
Alan, Pete the Visitor here. Pre-tip your barber, stylist, servers, waitresses. You're going to get the same service, but if you preface it with a great tip up front, they will give you a better service. Love the show.
Hells
Hope
no.
to see you guys
so then not
in
the same,
future.
sir. Pre-tip. Hells no.
I've never heard of this.
That is tipping culture gone berserk. No, thank you. The burden of proof is not on me. It's on you. I'm a good tipper. I ain't pre-tipping anybody.
Correct. Well, I pre-tip.
Hell no.
I do pre-tip for Uber Eats.
You'll get the same service, but if you pre-tip them, you'll get better service. I don't follow that. Thank you, Pete, for the message, but hell no. Am I pre-tipping anybody?
Because no matter what you tip, they'll always think they deserve more.
Well, again, I mean, listen, I'm a good tipper, but I tip let's not get crazy here. Some people don't tip at all. I'm going to tip after you've provided the
I
service.
still don't know these people who don't tip at all. I don't know anyone.
Isn't LeBron James famous for that?
I think that's what
that's
they
made
say.
up. I
Yeah.
think one person probably. He was always rolling with his squadron, and
they
probably the
tipped him
wrong guy,
$1.
or it wasn't even him. It was somebody else paid the bill and didn't tip, but it was LeBron's crew, and they were like,
Yeah.
LeBron's a terrible tipper.
Yeah, I know some people that are bad tippers. Like they're cheap. Like they'll leave $3 or like leave a $5 on something like that. But I don't know anyone who does not tip at all. Like I don't know what people you guys are hanging around. I don't know what people you guys are going on dates with. But I don't know anyone who has never like not tipped anything.
Well, somebody who's never worked in the service industry has a
Dude.
much higher probability of being a bad tipper,
When I was flying,
in my experience.
from Nashville to Appleton, Wisconsin yesterday morning.
The Rockin' Apple.
Whoop, whoop. And there was only like one restaurant open because I got there like 4:30 in the morning. My flight boarded at 5:15. So there was one restaurant open in like my wing, right? And I go to sit down. There's like 2 other tables in there at the time that I got in there. They have like 4 options for breakfast. And this server was in such a bad mood. She was like yelling at people. She was like throwing silverware. Like, I don't know if someone called off and she picked up a shift last minute or something. But I was sitting there and I just ordered like a breakfast sandwich, whatever. I have 45 minutes. My gate's right there. I'm not in any kind of a hurry. And to pay, she comes over to me. She goes, okay, you can pay on your phone. I was like, okay, no problem. I go to scan the QR code. It's not working. And then it was like 10 minutes and I like waved her down. And I was like, hey, I just need my check. I can't get it to work on my phone. And she was like, you can pay on your phone, and like walked away. And then the lady next to me, she was like a Southern woman who was also receiving bad service, who was there before I was there. And she goes, honey, not me today. Like that. And I was like, oh no, I'm about to see a fist fight. Like I was ready because the lady came over to her and I heard her. The woman like stood up and went toward the bar, and the server lady who was starting to get busy, she goes, listen, just because you're standing there doesn't mean I'm going to help you any sooner. And like the woman was like,
Wow.
yes. So it was like one of those things where I bet that woman didn't tip. You know what I mean? Like that Southern lady where she was already aggravated with her and she's like, well, you're being crappy to me. Why would I tip you? You know?
Yeah, well, pre-tipping, no thank you. But it's your money. You do whatever you want to with it.